Area. Find the area of the trapezoid. The formula for the area of a trapezoid is A equals 1/2 times H times the sum of B1 plus B2. B1 and B2 are the bases or the lengths of these parallel sides. And then H is the height of the trapezoid. We're given that B1 equals 5, B2 equals 15, and H equals 9. So we're going to substitute those values into the formula and solve. Therefore, I have 1/2 times 9 times 5 plus 15. First, you'll add 5 and 15 together. That gives us 20. Next, we can multiply 9 times 20 together, and we get 180. So we're left with A equals 1/2 times 180. 1/2 times 180 is the same as 180 divided by 2, which gives us 90. So the area of the trapezoid is 90 square millimeters. And the way we write that is we place an exponent of 2 next to the unit millimeters, and that's because all area should be written as square units. So whenever you write the area, you want to put an exponent of 2 next to your unit measure. Determine the area of the triangle. The area of a triangle is found by applying the formula A equals 1/2 base times height. B is the base, which in this case is 13, and H is the height of the triangle, which in this case is 9. So we'll simply plug in those values, and I get A equals 1/2 times 13 times 9. I'll multiply 13 times 9 together first, which is 117. Lastly, I want to multiply 1/2 by 117, and that's the same as dividing by 2. And 117 divided by 2 is 58.5 centimeters. And again, we're just going to put an exponent 2 next to the centimeters because this is the unit for the area. So my final answer is 58.5 square centimeters. Find the area of the circle. Use 3.14 for pi. The formula for the area of the circle is pi r squared. R is the radius. If we look at the diagram, we are given the diameter. The diameter goes from one point of the circle to another point on the circle. But we want to find the radius, and the radius is from the center of the circle to one endpoint on the circle. In order to find the radius, we just take the diameter, which is 42, and divide by 2. So R equals 21. Now we're going to substitute that into our formula. And remember, we're going to use 3.14 for pi. So this becomes 3.14 times 21 squared. First, you'll do 21 squared, which is the same as 21 times 21, and we get 441. Next, we'll multiply that by 3.14, and we get a value of 1,384.74. Since this is area, my final answer is 1,384.74 square feet. Find the area of the shaded region. Recall that to solve a new problem, it is helpful to relate it to a problem that has been solved before. Use pi equals 3.14. Here we have a figure, and we want to find the shaded area, which is represented by the blue. If we look at this picture, we have a rectangle, and on the inside of the rectangle, we have 2 circles. So in order to find the area of the shaded region, we're going to find the area of the rectangle and then subtract the area of those circles. First, I'm going to find the area of the rectangle. The formula for the area of a rectangle is A equals length times width. If we look at our diagram, we see that the length is 20 meters, but I don't have a value for my width. If we look a little closer, we can see that the radius of the circle is 5 meters. Now, the radius goes from the center of the circle to an endpoint on the circle. If I were to extend the radius by finding the diameter of that circle is also the width of the rectangle. So I'm going to find the diameter of the circle to get my width. Since the radius is 5 meters, the diameter is 2 times the radius, which is 2 times 5, and that is 10 meters. So that tells me that my width is 10 meters. So I'll plug in a 20 for L and a 10 for W, and then 20 times 10 is 200. So the area of the rectangle is 200 square meters. Now I'm going to find the area of both circles, or two circles. Now both of these circles are the same size. So I can just multiply the area of one circle by 2. Therefore, the area of two circles is A equals 2 times pi r squared. And r is the radius, which is 5. And we're going to use 3.14 for pi. So I'll just go ahead and substitute in the values for pi and r. So I have 2 times 3.14 times 5 squared. First we'll do 5 squared, which is 25. Next we can multiply 2 times 3.14 to get us a value of 6.28. And then lastly, we'll multiply 6.28 times 25 to get an answer of 157. So that means that the area of both circles is 157 square meters. Okay, now like we said earlier, the area of the shaded region is found by finding the area of the rectangle and then subtracting the area of the circles. The area of the rectangle is 200, and the area of the circles is 157. So we'll do 200 minus 157, and we get 43. So the area of the shaded region is 43 square meters. And that is our final answer.